So in this election, I'm going to be voting for the lesser of four evils. And what's the lesser of four? People don't even know. What does Jill Stein stand for? Well, here's what she stands for. Jill Stein on the issue. She will cancel college student debt. Boom. $1 trillion. Cancel it. Hey, if we can have wars, trillions, $3 trillion, $4 trillion wars when nobody ever talks about how we're going to pay for it, I say we just go ahead and imagine what that would do for the economy. How much more money? That's almost the equivalent of taking $1 trillion and putting it in people's pockets. There's a stimulus program that we never did. You know, all the Paul Krugman and all the other real economists said we should have had a $2 trillion stimulus back in 2009. We should have had a $2 trillion stimulus, which we didn't. So that's a great idea. Actually, I bet you Paul Krugman would be on board for that. We'll make public college education free. We already know that we can do that in this country. Supports ending the racist war on drugs. I think everybody's for that except the government. Yes. Everybody's for that except the government and this police state we live in. She supports the legalization of marijuana. Again, everybody supports that except the government. Isn't that funny? The government bought by alcohol and the guys who make Vicodin. Isn't that funny?
But how are we going to keep our prisons full?
She says we'll reduce the unnecessary military spending. We'll fight against climate change. Supports campaign finance reform. Opposes the TPP and NAFTA trade agreement. Supports single-payer public health programs. We'll bring troops home from 800 bases. 800 There's over 800 bases, by the way. So I've already looked into this. They don't know how many bases there are in the world. They say it's over 1,000. Nobody knows. The Pentagon, there's a lot of them are secret. So we don't know about them, but they put it around 1,000. So she said she'll end the Patriot Act and overturn Citizens United. End the Patriot Act. Do you ever hear anyone say that? I don't hear anybody even talking about it. End the Patriot Act. She's going to provide a legal pathway for citizenship. She's going to create a Green New Deal for 25 million new jobs. What a great idea. And we'll close tax loopholes and end corporate welfare. Forget the lesser of evil and fight for the greater good. Jill Stein. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think it's important we create political space on the left for these ideas. I think they need to be heard by a lot of people. Just like when Bernie started talking to people, everybody was like, that's a great idea. We're all about it. Because they certainly weren't about Bernie because he has his good looks and his charm, okay? He was a 74 or 5-year-old Jewish bald guy yelling at you with his hands like this, doing everything wrong. Doing everything wrong. And so people, when he starts, so we need to have this. We need to have more of this because you keep.
And this is the importance. And this is the importance of third parties, is that they expand the political discourse. It's not about them winning. It's about putting issues on the table. And if you don't have third-party voices or voices that dissent from the two-party system, you're going to have Democrats that are just involved in the classic bad marriage, where Democrats are telling potential third-party voters, you can't leave your abuser because you won't be able to find anyone better. And in the meantime, you can keep hoping for the little crumbs of social progress that the Democratic Party has conceded over the years. In the meantime, when things like the drug war, things like interventionist war, the third parties are actually where the American people are. And it's the two parties that are not with the American people. So it's not about winning. It's about expanding the discourse. And also, your vote, if you're voting for a third party, that is a much more powerful vote because not only are you're sending a message, but you're helping that party get federal funding. It gets past the 5%, then it's federally funded. That means it will have more money to have a larger platform to speak to the American people in a louder voice. And also, the Democrats are ripping on Jill Stein and the Green Party. The Green Party, to be a viable political party, legally has to run a presidential candidate. They're not doing it to offend, moderate liberal sensibilities. They have to run a presidential candidate. And I believe that the Green Party is saying the most important things that are being said in this election cycle currently.
So let's
if Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton does not make you rethink the two-party system, nothing will.
Right.
So let's get her. Let's start a movement. Like I said, 10 years ago, the party that's ruling Greece right now was polling at 4%. Now they're ruling Greece. I know they have a different style of government, but let's just keep in mind.
Yeah, it's parliamentary.
Yes, it's time. It's time we can't, the definition of insanity is do the same things you've always done and expect a different outcome. So we've done this before. We voted out of fear. We voted against. The Republicans. We voted against that. And it's time to stop, because this is what we're left with. We're left with more war. We're left with more deregulation of Wall Street, and the banks are going to crash again. We're left with war criminals not prosecuted. We're left with income disparity greater than the Gilded Age right now. And half the country in America right now is considered poor or living in poverty. Half the country. Did you know that 1 in 4 children in America live in poverty? 1 in 4 live in poverty. Poverty, not poor, in poverty. So that's why it's time. And all these white guys keep wagging their finger at me and telling me that I got to vote for Hillary Clinton. These guys who grew up in cul-de-sacs and now have no idea what a real pain is like in the real world, have no idea. These guys are telling me I have to support because Trump and the Supreme Court. And let me tell you, that Supreme Court argument is the same argument they give you every time a Republican runs. It's the same time. It's the same argument. That take Trump's name out of it. It's the same argument. Oh, we can't let Jeb Bush win. Why? Supreme Court. Oh, we can't let Ted Cruz win. Why? Supreme Court. We can't let Marco Rubio win. Why? Supreme Court. They'll say that over and over and over. That has nothing to do with Trump. So it's time. It's time to create political space. That's exactly what Mark said on the phone, that we need that it doesn't matter if Jill Stein wins. We need to get these ideas out there.